Give me 1 second, guys.
No, you're okay.
Everything just want to move a little slow today. Okay. All right, we are live. Mm. Welcome everyone to our masterclass. Today we have our wonderful keynote speaker, Miss Adrianne Blackmore. Miss Adrianne is a doula mentor with the National Black Doulas Association, where she guides and supports aspiring doulas on their path to certification. With over 16 years of experience as an educator in low income communities and 3 supporting births, she brings both expertise and compassion to her work. She has also led workshops for labor and delivery nurses and partnering with doulas, reflecting her passion for advancing Black maternal health. Through her role at the NBDA, Adrianne contributes to team initiatives, develops resources, and uplifts doulas with tools and confidence they need to serve their families with care and advocacy. Welcome, Adrianne.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone out there.
Alrighty, Adrianne, I'm gonna give you the floor.
All right. So, again, thank you, Joy, for that beautiful introduction. And my name again is Adrianne. I go by Ace. And we're going to talk about the importance of mentorship for a doula. But as we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself. So, we're going to go into let's talk about Ace. One of the things that I do as a doula is I ensure that my families are well prepared. I've been doing this, as she stated before, over 16 years in regards to educating. I've been a doula. This is going on my 4th year as a doula, coming up October 24th. First, and I am super, super duper excited. What we do here is we educate, we empower, and we elevate our families and other professionals as well. I have expertise in all things doula care, coaching, and wellness, serving as a bridge between the community, schools, and the healthcare systems. And I'm also the founder of ACE Doula Academy and ACE Your Life Coaching. My purpose is always to ensure that I support, create sustainability, and a legacy. So why does mentorship matter? If you're a person out here and you're wanting to become a doula and you know, like, okay, I want to make sure that I am well prepared to serve my families. I want to kind of know the ins and outs of what it means to be a doula, then this is what you need. Mentorship provides just that. It provides doulas with the guidance, the support, and the tools needed to thrive in the doula world. It ensures knowledge transfer, professional growth, and community building. So it's helping you to build that resource, connect with people who have been doing this, connect with hospitals, connect with families, connect with all the additional things that you need to be the best doula that you can be. As a mentor, it helps doulas step into their role with confidence and clarity, because there's nothing like stepping into a role well prepared and ready to thrive and take on the maternal health systems. Some of the benefits of mentorship, again, as stated before, it's building the confidence in new doulas. We provide real world knowledge and resources. It expands your professional networks, not just working in the hospital, but working in the clinics, working with different OB care teams, working with different resources to provide wraparound resources, to provide wraparound services for your families. It encourages that accountability and goal setting. So making sure that you are who you say you are, and to assure that you're ready to take on. And one of the things that it also does, it prevents burnout through guidance and self-care support. So having a doula who is really instrumental in ensuring that your wellness is taken care of, because before you can take care of your clients, you have to make sure that you're taken care of. You have to do a self-check. So when you have someone in that's a doula mentor, you're able to receive that. You're able to receive that check to make sure that you're okay, because you do not want to be burnt out in this system, in this world. So, mentorship in the Black community. One of the things that I love about being a doula and working with families that look just like me is because the cultural traditions and practices. The way we talk to one another, the way we kind of crack jokes in the delivery room to kind of make it more welcoming, to kind of make it more just relaxing and peaceful, those things that maybe others may not really understand. We provide representation and relatability. We're strengthening the advocacy for Black birthing families. We're ensuring that our families are taken care of, because as we know, Black women have a 3 times higher rate in passing away during childbirth, and our families, our children have a higher rate of passing away as well. This also creates legacy through mentorship pipeline. But also, as we're going, feel free to type in the chat any questions that you have.
All right, Adrian, we actually do have one
So, the
question.
role of a mentor. As a mentor, I'm excited. Let's see.
All right, so the question is, why do you believe mentorship is such a critical part of a doula's journey?
So, mentorship is such a critical point. Is because, for example, when I became a doula, I really didn't. We took the class. I took the class. I learned all the things that I needed to learn, but I was a little bit nervous about that first birth, right?
Mhm.
Having someone who's been in it, who's worked the systems, who's worked with the hospitals to kind of mentor me, to kind of guide me, really helped me. And here I am 4 years later, right? I'm loving it, right? I'm enjoying it. But having somebody that I can bounce ideas off of. When a mom has a labor that is stalled, hey, I've tried this, I've tried this. What else should I do? Oh, well, try this position. Hey, I have a mom who's kind of struggling with lactation, right? And as a doula, we kind of help with those first steps to lactation. So, what are the best practices? Me as a mentor, giving the best practices and sharing my knowledge, providing constructive feedback, right? Supporting the emotional well-being, because sometimes not all births are hunky-dory, right? Not all births
Mhm.
are these like really tight births where it's like, oh, it was amazing, like the baby just came on out. No,
Right.
you're gonna have some deliveries where they're kind of long. You're gonna have some deliveries where you're gonna need to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So, and also is doula friendly. Everybody doesn't love all doulas. Like it's not a new thing, but it's a new thing, right? And so
Right.
we want, as a mentor, I want to make sure that you're prepared, right, to deal with people who may not be friendly to you. Because again, we think of like the textbooks, right? And we're like, oh, everything's just gonna be puppies and rainbows. No, no. I want to make sure I prepare you for when it's not puppies and rainbows, when it's raining outside, when it's not that euphoria experience that you're looking for. But I also want to be there to celebrate your milestones, right? I want to celebrate your growth. I want to celebrate that you're here 4 years later, that you're here supporting over 50 moms, like that it's not just a number, but you are doing what you said you want to do and how you want to do it.
Thank you, Adrian. I love
You're
that.
welcome.
We do have one more question before we let you get back to it. Can you share an experience where mentorship made a difference in your career, in your own career?
Yes, I can. I had a mom who was struggling with lactation, right? As I stated before. And we did all the things that we were taught to do, right? All the things that all the quick fixes to try to work, right? But I had a mentor who had resources for me. And again, you can always go online, but to have a resource binder, a resource, quick little access to a resource support to kind of just help. And she told me about power pumping. Now, again, I'm a new doula, right? I've read all the books, I've done all the things, but I hadn't really necessarily heard power pumping and wanted to make sure that when we talk about power pumping, how it could be easy for my client to understand, how it could be easy for me to explain. And as an educator, I always try to make sure I have things that's differentiated based on the learning styles of my moms, because a lot of times moms may not really be up for reading, right? So something quick that I have access to. So having that mentor to give me those resources that I can, digital resources that I can send out to my moms, quick little videos that I can send out to my moms while they're in their process, or things that can kind of help me when we're at our lactation visits or when we're at our postpartum visits, that can kind of help support. I can't hear you, Joy. I'm sorry.
Amazing, Adrienne. I'll let you get back to it, and then if
Thank
there's any
you.
more questions, I'll come back on the screen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. So, again, as we get started and continue to talk about the role of a mentor, what is the role of a mentee? So the role of a mentee is to ensure that you show up, right? You show up. You show up prepared with questions and goals. As a doula mentor, I'm taking what I've done with my students for years to come. We're setting smart goals, baby. We're making sure that they are specific, that they are measurable, that they are attainable, that they are timed, and that they are reliable, right? So we're doing all of those things as a mentee. I'm making sure that you're being open to feedback and growth, taking constructive criticism. Because again, as I stated before, it's not going to always be puppies and rainbows, right? Taking initiative to learning. Like if there's something that you really, really want to know about, like a lotus birth or different comfort measures, using a robot, using all of the different things like a TENS unit, you want to make sure that you're taking the initiative in your learning. You're respecting your times and respecting times and boundaries, because at the end of the day, the mentor has other things as well. So you want to make sure that you show up on time for your respected time, and you're communicating inside the boundaries that a mentor has, and you're committing to the mentorship process. You're making sure here at MBDA, we have a 3-month mentorship process. We want to make sure that you are prepared and you are ready to step into the world. But that doesn't mean that just because these 3 months are over, that, hey, we're gone, see you later, bye-bye, you did it, you made it. No, in my mentorship program, I make sure that we have like a 60-day check-in, a 90-day check-in. I just want to make sure you're okay. I turn into like, oh, I'm that good friend. I want to make sure that you are doing what you need. If I'm always there for you. And how do we do that? We're building a community, right? So, building a culture for mentorship. In our programs, we have developed structured mentorship programs. We're providing training for our mentors. Our mentors in our programs, they receive a lot of training. We're encouraging peer-to-peer mentorship, right? Recognizing and celebrating our relationships and creating sustainable pipelines for new doulas. This is something that I wish it was created when I became a doula. Like I had a mentor, but it wasn't more so like pipeline for like, hey, this is your mentor, this is who you're connected with, like fresh out of training, this is your mentor. I didn't have that. I had somebody that I knew who was my instructor, and she taught some of my classes, and we just built a relationship, right? And I still to this day still go to her because she's an OG doula, right? And I still have people that I bounce questions off of, that I bounce or need support on. Just like now in the way that the world is going, now doulas have the acceptance to ensure that they can accept like Medicaid insurance, right? And we all want to make sure that we're receiving our reimbursement funds, our funds. So having somebody who's done it before, I have a mentor for that. I have somebody that's teaching me the ins and outs so that I can mentor my mentees when comes time for them, when they're ready to kind of take that next step.
All right, Adrienne. We actually have a few more questions.
Okay.
All right. So, how can a new doula go about finding the right mentor?
So it's so on the NBDA website, you have access to all of the doula mentors, right? And email them, call them. You have access to their information and their bio. If somebody that it looks like that you like, I think I can vibe with that person, then call them, contact them. And I'm old school. Call, have a conversation, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm big on energy. If you see who you see today is who I am in my classroom with my staff. This is me, right? I'm a big helper person. I want to try to help. I want to try to support. I want to try to fix anything that you may come with any additional or need any additional services. So making sure that you hop on that website
Mhm.
if you're interested in doula mentorship, picking the person that fits you before you pay for anything. You want to make sure that you contact those people. If somebody that you have contacted and you like, okay, I really like this person, I think I would do well with this person, then be committed to that. You have to be committed to the mentorship.
Right. And we'll go ahead and make sure we put the link to our mentorship page. Just so you guys can take a look like Adrian was saying. Now we do have another question.
Mhm.
Um, what qualities should doulas look for in a mentor?
So, qualities that someone should look for. You want to make sure you get with an experienced doula, right? You want to make sure you get with an experienced doula. Not saying that someone who's been in the game a year is not a good person, but you want to make sure that person has experience. And what kind of experience? What kind of doula are you looking to be? Not saying that you're trying to create a copycat or anything of that sort, but if that person aligns with who you want to be as a doula, then that's how you can kind of go with looking at your guidelines to
Right.
being and choosing like the correct mentor for what kind of doula you would like to.
Amazing. Alrighty. And that's all the questions we have right now. So I'm gonna leave it back to you. And then, like I said, I'll come back if there's any other
Okay.
questions.
This is so fun. I'm so glad that you guys are here. And I wanted to ask for those of you who are online, right? If you can kind of hop on and tell me if you how long, if you're a doula, how long you've been a doula, what are some testimonies in regards to how you would benefit from mentorship, or any doulas who have already gone through mentorship before. What did you think about it? How did it improve your client outcomes? And I can kind of tell you guys as I'm waiting to see if anybody hops on. So for again, for me, when I did mentorship with my mentor, again, it wasn't textbook. It wasn't as how we're guide outlining this guideline here or how I service or provide, but it was more so like a, hey, when I had a question, I was able to contact that person. It wasn't created in an academy format like that I've created for my mentees, my future mentees, right? I want to make sure that I have everything aligned with what I knew that I wanted and needed when I started, right? And so for me, it has supported me and guided me to being who I am today.
Great. So we did have another question.
Okay.
How does mentorship benefit not just the doula, but also the families that we serve?
So one of the things that in my mentorship course that we have is we do a lot of case notes. We do a lot of case working in regards to like case studies. So creating real world case studies. Also bringing them in if you are virtual or in person. One of the things that I do that's really cool and special is I ask my clients if I can record our visits, right? And I do that to show them what a first prenatal visit can look like, right? What a be it in the home setting or in the doctor's office setting, right? Doing a postpartum visit. What does that look like? How does that look like? Right. And also, even for those who are, I've had some that are in person who've asked to kind of attend a labor and delivery. Of course, this is all things that I've always asked my clients because I want to respect their privacy. I want to respect their HIPAA laws and all the things. So I want to make sure that this is okay. Once my clients approve this and allow this, then my mentee is allowed to like come to the labor and delivery just to see how we do things as a doula, like how they can support their client. Because again, it practice makes perfect, right? We've learned that all our lives. Practice makes perfect, right? You have to practice what you preach. You have to practice what you're doing to ensure that you are supporting your family and supporting your moms. So I'm a big advocate for ensuring that we have in-person support, virtual support, however that looks like for the mentee, like real world things that they may see, hear, come up with things. Because if I've never stepped into a hospital and the terms that they use, I will be lost, right? Having a terminology book to ensure that they understand what are things like what is NICU, what is a toka, what is all of these different things that they may see or hear or do in a delivery.
Perfect. That's amazing, Adrian. So we have one more question and then we have a testimonial.
Okay.
So what advice do you have for experienced doulas who want to become mentors?
Do it. If you know that you can be that guiding light for someone, if you know that you have the skill set, like I have something to give to someone, there's not, like Nike say, do it. There's nothing wrong with being that person. But even if you just are not ready, like you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for all that, be that person that has the resources. So start small. Like, hey, if you know there's a new doula coming, give them a resource binder, a resource book, digital or tangible, to ensure that they're ready to take the next step forward. And if they have questions, answer the phone, answer the texts, something like that. You could be possibly being a mentor and not even know it.
That was amazing, Adrian. So our testimonial says, mentorship has been life changing. Having a mentor guide me, celebrate my wins, and remind me of my capability has given me the confidence to step fully into my role as a doula. I'm grateful to grow in this work with a supportive community behind me. So it sounds like, mentorship is something that can be very beneficial, especially to people who have done mentorship through our program at the MBDA. And it seems
Mm-hmm.
like this person has done that. So if you want to speak to that a little bit more, you can, or we can move on. And then, any other questions, we can just ask them at the end.
Okay.
Perfect.
Again, the NBDA does a lot to provide to ensure that our doulas are ready, our new doulas, and even like our mentors, and even something as ensuring that the community is ready. So we have ambassador programs. It's how you can start. One of the ways that when Joy asks if you want to be a mentor, if you want to be a mentor and you don't really know when and how and what, start off as an ambassador, right? Kind of lead the charge in your community, lead the charge in your city, and kind of get to know what MBDA is about, get to know how we thrive and sustain doulas, right? Get to kind of talking to some of the I call them the OG mentors and the OG doula trainers, like kind of learn what they're teaching in their doula training program and kind of see how you can tailor that to mentorship. What do you want your mentorship to look like when you do become a mentor? So those are things that can kind of help you get on the road or the pathway to becoming a mentor, when becoming an MBBA mentor, right? When you are just looking to support and provide for your mentees and your families. So, some of the things that we can do again as a mentor and how we can do this call to action again, get involved in mentorship programs through MBDA. If you know that you want to be a bomb doula, Like you like, oh, I know I can do this, but I need some help. Get involved with the MBDA do a mentorship programs. The link was already provided, and I'm sure they're going to provide it again. Make sure you pair with mentors. Make sure you guys pair with somebody intentionally, right? Like that person that you know that you could connect with, that you vibe with. Like when we talk about vibe check, you want to make sure that person's vibe matches your vibe. You want to make sure you have a commitment to growing the Black doula community through mentorship. You want to make sure that you're providing what you can to ensure that you're growing this doula world that we have in the Black community. Because again, as was stated before, our moms, they're dying at a high rate. I'm not sure how much you guys really pay attention to local news, the news in your city, but for example, I heard like like about a month ago that in the state of Mississippi, it was a state of emergency because preterm Black babies were dying at a 24% high rate than it was last year for preterm births. So they're trying to figure out, well, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on in the state of Mississippi that babies are not making it and that Black babies are not making it, right? Together, we can educate, empower, and elevate. This doesn't have to be working in silos. This doesn't have to be something that, you do in your corner, I do in mine. We're all here to achieve the same dream. We're all here to achieve the same goal. We're all here to ensure that Black maternal health is taken seriously, that Black maternal health and that our babies have a chance to live and thrive and be stable and see their first birthdays. So again, when you have the opportunity, check out the MBDA Mentor website, right? And kind of look at and see who you would like to work with. Uh, Email them, uh, send a note, smoke signal, something just to ensure that they see you because we see you.
Great job, Adrienne. This has truly been an
Thank you.
amazing presentation so far. We did just have a few more questions.
Okay.
So, how can mentorship help doulas navigate challenges like burnout or work life balance?
So one of the things that I am big on, because again, as I said before, I work in education. So that means doula is not my full-time position, right? I do
Hmm.
have a work-life balance, right? I'm a
Hmm.
mom, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm all those things, right? But I know that I'm also a doula, and I need to make sure that I am taking care of myself and my families uh before we're in labor, right? I need to
Yeah.
make sure I check on me. So one of those things that I do in my mentorship class, or in my mentorship class is I'm a wellness coach by nature, right? So I'm
Mhm.
ensuring that all of the things that when we set those goals, I'm gonna always revert back to, well, how are you taking care of yourself? When we have our meetings, I'm gonna say, hey, give me 3 things you're grateful for today. Because I want to always make sure we go
Mhm.
back to we know what your goal is, we know what your mission is, but I need to make sure you cool. I need to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that when the days aren't puppies and rainbows, when it's not sunshine and sometimes it's a little cloudy, I need to know what can I do to support you to ensure that, okay, I know it's a little cloudy today. I know it's a little rainy today. I know your life is life right now. So what can we do together to ensure that, you be okay?
Yeah. That's amazing. So the next question we have is, in your opinion, how does mentorship contribute to the growth of the Black doula community specifically?
So I think it contributes because when you have that support,
Hmm.
you want to bring everybody with you. Once we on,
Yeah.
we on, right? That's like the song, right? You on, right? So you're bringing people who have the same passion, who have the same drive along with you. And so if you know that you have a group of women who want to be doulas, who want to do this work, hey, come take this course with me, right? Hey, if you take this course, hey, choose this mentor with me, right? This
Hmm.
mentor, she good, right? You want to make sure that and that's your system, that's your support. You have it, use it.
Alrighty, that was amazing. So the next question is, are there any ways that doulas can create like a peer-to-peer mentorship if they don't have access to a formal mentor?
Yes, you can. So you can do it. Again, I didn't have a traditional mentorship. It wasn't like a course that I did. I just worked with another doula who I trusted and still trust today. It's two of them that I really work with. And like really they one has been a doula for about 6 or 7 years, the other one has been a doula for about 5 years. And I trust them. Like I go to them when I have questions. And again, I've been a doula 4 years come October 21st, right?
Mhm.
So I I make sure that those were my peer to peers. But mentorship and having a course really just puts you in that state of having support, longevity of it. Like you, that 3 months or that 3 month process that we have, it isn't to just be like, oh, well, you could do it if you want to. No, you have this community of mentors who can provide support and just answer questions that based on our course guidelines, something as simple as Doula 101. You have gotten out of class. You made it
Yeah,
out of class, right? You've completed the coursework to become a doula. Now what? Right?
right.
Now it's just using those things. How do I create a packet for my moms, right?
Mhm.
Instead of like saying a birth plan. One of the things I always tell my mentees is we don't call them plans because plans can change and people get stuck on the word plan.
Yeah,
Preferences. I love preferences. Going having someone to go with you when you're going to like community events, right? Here in Missouri, we have the Maternal Black Summit, right? An
yeah,
amazing program. They do it every year, and this was the second. This was the second year that they had it, and it's amazing. They have scenarios. They have a lot of information is given. They have a lot of community resources, but you're in there with it's like a doula family reunion. Literally, it's like a Black
I
maternal
love
health. It's called a Black maternal summit, and it's like a reunion because you're in there with people who you've probably gone to class with. You see around in different community events, but you have someone there with you.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Adrian. This has
Thank you.
been an amazing, amazing masterclass. We really hope that the information that was shared today, can definitely go a long way with our viewers today. They seem to really appreciate it. Um, being that, I want to just give a few announcements and then we'll go ahead and wrap up.
Okay.
So, you guys, the next thing that we have coming up is our Practice What You Doula workshop, which will be led by our CEO, Brandy. She'll be going over business basics. So, if you guys are trying to get right before the new year, definitely join and sign up for that Practice What You Doula so you can learn how to refresh your business right before the new year and learn how to reapply some of those business basics. We would love to see you there. Of course, we do have our Journey to Doula World. As always, if you know anybody who is aspiring to become a doula, if you know a doula who is new to this journey and trying to figure out their next step, Journey to Doula World is the right place for them. So please take a look at our events page and scroll and see what event calls out to you. At the MBDA, we try to make sure this is a space where our doulas feel educated, empowered, and also have the community that we need. Again, thank you, Adrian, and we're gonna sign off. Thank you, guys. All right, Adrian. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you. You
amazing.
guys have a great evening.
You too. We'll make sure you get the playback to this. We'll make sure we send you an
Okay.
email. And then, of course, we probably might have you come back for like a practice what you do because I do think this was some valuable information. And I do feel like, it was very
Yeah.
natural, you know? Oh, dang, we didn't do your
Okay.
QR
Thank
code.
you.
I'm so sorry.
It's
We'll
okay.
make sure we send it out to
Mm-mm.
people. But yeah,
Yep.
we'll make sure.
Perfectly fine.
All right, perfect. Well, you have a good one, Adrian. All right. Oh, Kyle, you have a good one too. I forgot to add you
See
back on.
you. Thank you
Okay.
again.
Thank you. All right, Kyle. If we can just take this recording and make sure